Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and we are going to continue with our fraction, decimal, and percent conversions by talking about decimal and percent conversions. We're going to convert decimals to percent and percent to decimals. So go ahead as we go through, make sure that you're taking notes, and here we go. Okay, to change a decimal to a percent, we need to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Okay, why do we do that? Because percent is out of 100, so we need to increase it by 2 place values for hundreds, right? And to increase, we multiply. So if we have 3, if we have 3/10 and we want to change this to a percent, we need to increase it 2 place values. We do that by multiplying by 100, and increasing 2 place values would turn it into 30. 1 place value, 2 place values. So that's why we move the decimal point 2 places to the right. And one way that you can think of it is DP. Like Dr. Pepper, the D stands for decimal, the P stands for percent. If we're going from decimal to percent, we move to the right. Because there are 2 letters, we move 2 places, 1, 2, 2 places to the right. And when you're showing your work, you want to put that little arrow at the end because it shows the direction that you actually moved. It shows that you moved it to the right. Okay, here we go. 78/100ths, find that decimal point, here it is, and move it 1 place would be the 7, 2 places would be the 8. The new decimal point would come behind the 8. So basically, you went from 78/100ths to a whole number 78. So we don't need to write the decimal point in a whole number. We can leave it invisible. So we write 78, and don't forget your percent symbol. If you do not put your percent sign, then it is not a percent. It would just be 78 whole. Okay, 400ths, find that decimal point, move it once, 2 places. There we go. The new decimal point goes behind the 4, so we've turned it into 4%. Okay, the next one. Okay, it doesn't matter how many digits are in your number. It could be 2 digits, it could be 1 digit, it could be 12 digits. You only move it 2 places because DP, Dr. Pepper, only has 2 places. So here's our decimal point. We're going to move it 1 place around the 3, 2 places, puts our new decimal between the 4 and the 2. So it's going to be 3, 4, new decimal 2. Then you put your percent symbol. Okay, so we can't move it 3 places, we only move it twice. Same thing for the next one. Here we go. Decimal point, 1 place, 2 place. The new decimal goes right here where this arrow is at, between the 6 and the 0. 76 and 500ths%. Okay, so here's our decimal point. We move it 1 place. We ran out of numbers, right? But we still have to move it 2 places. And as you'll recall, anytime you have a whole, you have to annex a 0. So our 2 5/10 becomes 250%. Now 5 is a whole number, so you don't see that decimal point because it's invisible, but you need to place it so that you can move it. So invisible decimal points go at the end or behind the whole number. So that's our invisible decimal point. Now that it's here, we can move it our 2 places. 2 places to the left, this is 1 place, this is 2 places, this is my arrow, because my new decimal point goes at my arrow. I have 2 empty spots that I have to annex zeros in. So it becomes 500%. So to change from a decimal to a percent, if we're moving the decimal point 2 places to the right, what do you think we're going to do if we're going to go from percent to decimal? Did you say move 2 places to the left? If you did, you are correct. So now we're going to take our DP, we're still using DP, but this time we're going from percent to decimal. So we move to the left, and we're still moving 2 places because there are 2 letters in DP. All right, so here we go, 30%. You're moving the decimal point. Well, 30 is a whole number, so we have to find that invisible decimal point. It always goes at the end. Once we have it, then we move it once, 2 times to the left, and our decimal is going to be 30 hundredths. Could you drop the last 0 and just write it as 3/10? Sure. Do you need to put a 0 in the ones place? No, you could write it as 0.30 or 0.3. It just looks nicer to have the 0 in the ones place, but you don't have to have it. Okay, 53%. It's a whole number. There's the invisible decimal point. Now move it once, 2 places to the left, and we get 53 hundredths. 8%. There's the invisible decimal point. Let's move it once, 2 places to the left. Our new decimal point goes here. There is an empty hole that we have to annex a 0. So we're going to get 8 hundredths. 124%. Find that invisible decimal point. It goes at the end. Now move it once, only twice. So the new decimal goes between the 1 and the 2. So you end up with 1 and 24 hundredths, which makes sense that there's a whole number because our percent is greater than 100%, isn't there? Okay, 22.8%. This is not a whole percent. Okay, it already has the decimal point. That's the decimal point that we move. So we're going to go 1, 2 places to the left, and we're going to get 228 thousandths. And that's all there is to changing decimals to percent and percents to decimals. All right, have a great day.